podcast coming at you. Hope you enjoy the content from Stevie Ray. And now let's get to some this week's carnage. So the weekend, let's get straight into it. You were at Cage Warriors, weren't you?
I was. I went along.
It was a really good night for Scottish MMA.
Good wins.
Aye.
There were some good wins.
Sean Clancy put on an absolute performance. We didn't expect anything less of the kid. I know we were meant to have Clancy on this week, but I thought he was on holiday. I thought it would be better to get Stevie on. I thought there was my fault, but Clancy will be on. He's actually on holiday next week, so we'll get him in when he is available. And I enjoyed the time sitting down with Stevie Ray there. I know I'm jumping all over this place, but it was good. It was good to actually get right into his head, man. And he was obviously a wee bit tense coming in, because it's when we an interview, you never know what the level what it's going to be like. Because it's going to be like, please tell me what it was like growing up, and what you don't know what it's like. But we just had a general conversation with him, and it was fun. It's
funny for me because like we're obviously all the same age, but I know I rip Fife to bits. I slag Fife all the time, but me and him grew up with so many mutual friends, and I just would see him at MMA shows and things like that. But he was friends with people I was friends with. You would go into gyms and see him there. Like before, when MMA was such a new thing and such a niche thing, you would have MMA fighters coming into like commercial gyms to use their treadmills, use their weights, things like that. None of these things were in it, and people were doing strength and conditioning then. Wasn't it what it is now? It was like just fucking right, 10 reps of what on the bench press. And that's where I first sort of bumped into Stevie Ray, and like we told a couple of stories and stuff. You'll need to watch that podcast to hear them. But guys going, that's Stevie Ray. You seen that guy fighting? Like, obviously stories about him fighting out on the fucking street, no fighting in a cage. And I had gone to an MMA show, like the first local MMA show I'd ever been to, and Stevie Ray was fighting on it. So it's nice. It's a nostalgia thing for me, really, because Scotland is a small place. The MMA community is a small place. It's growing now, and I'm sure we're going to hit the characters who it's going to be growing into.
Yep. I can't wait to see where this podcast goes. I know we've taken a bit of a different turn, but still a bit of madness coming out in there was a bit of madness here coming out in Stevie. he was leaking, but great interview.
He's always been a boy, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him fight against Lewis Long at PFL this coming September. But again, back to the card. I know jump. Sean obviously put on a performance. We had Keir Harvey, who put on a performance as well. Like, the kid just looks like he's sitting in like nice coasting movement. Bum. Looks very, very good. And then you had obviously high hit squad guys. We had the first outing of Ryan Campbell, who looked very good as well. Took that guy to a decision. He looked very tough, like he was able just to keep surviving.
Durable way.
There was points where I thought Ryan looked like he was just going to posture up and start raining down elbows and punches. You've got to remember that's Ryan's first fight as a pro. I think he said, sorry, that's a lie. That was his second fight as a pro. It was that guy's first fight as a pro. I don't know if you've seen this guy's record.
I never caught that fight.
Right.
I was in a wee bit later.
This guy's only had one fight as an amateur, and he had his second fight was a pro fight, and it was cancelled because the guy he fought was ineligible for a professional fight. He basically fought a jobbie.
Right.
So the guy Ryan fought a jobbie, got lost to that guy, and then that was stricken off his record, and then Ryan obviously went out and just dusted him. He's
in some shape, Ryan, as well, isn't he?
Just done what he needed to do. The place looked really empty. Like when I was watching it as a fan, like we'd spoke about the sale of tickets, but I'm watching it as a fan in the house. It just did not look busy, and you could see that up until probably, I think the first time I really noticed the crowd was Michael Blair, who, what a zombie, mate.
It was some fight.
It was an amazing fight, but he took some digs and still kept coming. You couldn't put him away. It just shows heart. That you can't teach. You're either born with that or it's something you can develop. And what a performance.
There was one knockdown I was certain he wouldn't have got up for. Just the way it like...
And he just rose.
He just did. He just rose. We're not done yet. I couldn't believe it. It almost looked like he was stiff as he went down. And I thought, fucking hell.
Good on him, man. I'm glad he got the win.
Jordan Strong got a good win as well.
Yep,
Jordan Strong with a good KO win as well. Yep.
ferocious with that it would still be counted as ground and pound, where he'd pinned him against the cage and then was just bum.
He's a ferocious guy, though.
Some
Good
big
guy.
power shots. So he worked with Adam at Enhanced Sports Performance, and Adam said he's one of these freaks he's came across. Like
Jordan
with regards to athleticism, he said he's super athletic.
Sure, his weight, doesn't he ever struggle with weight either, didn't he?
No,
Like,
you look at him and he's not a guy where you look at him and go, whoa, man, he's absolutely ripped to death with muscle. He's just this guy who's athletically gifted with regards to can spar all day. Like, I've seen him in the gym and he just keeps going and going and going.
Can't hurt him doing either.
No, he can't.
Like, bump, straight back up.
So Scottish MMA, it's looking good.
Rhys
and then we had
McKeown's
Rhys
back in the win column as well, yep.
which is good. And I think he's looking to get on that Manchester card. Sorry, not Manchester, Newcastle card.
Newcastle was excellent last time, by the way. I took my son down to that one, and that was a big thing. Under 18s could go. And this no under 18s at Braehead blows my fucking mind. I cannot.
Why?
Why does it blow my mind? Why is it no under 18s?
I get why. I'm wanting to know is why does Braehead not allow?
I don't know. Because they can go to the hockey.
Why?
Maybe
they're just like, this is violence. We don't want these kids.
I don't know if that's it. Like, I think, because my son said to me, can I come with you? And I was like, nah.
do you think that played a part in the crowd? Well, I think there was a mixture of things for me. I think maybe people had it in their mind that the bar situation the last time wasn't. Well,
you wouldn't have had a fucking problem this time. Because I never went to the bar once, and there was.
So I think there was a few factors that have.
There was definitely a few factors, but hopefully the next time we see Cage Warriors coming to Glasgow, we'll maybe have Sean Clancy fighting for a title, because I genuinely believe that he could have fought all 5 of the guys on that night and beat them all, like one after the other.
He pretty much said that himself.
I'm glad he knows.
Aye.
I'm glad he's saying it. I'm glad he's just going, nah, fuck it. Like, a lot of people go, people get like victims of their own success, and they start to believe their own hype. Aye, good, mate. Believe your own fucking hype.
The kid's very good and he's going to go far.
Mate.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a while for we see Cage Warriors coming.
Aye.
Do you think it was too close together as well?
I think it was. I think that was a factor. The alcohol was a factor. The fact that it wasn't a great night for Scottish MMA the first time round. But you know what? The Scottish people, the Scottish fighters showcased it that night.
Do you think the Scottish fighters this time around maybe felt the pressure because of how it turned out last time?
I do, yes.
maybe,
I do think so. I think that pressure makes diamonds. Why the hell am I still cold? That's not even the tune of the song, is it?
What's the song?
It's a song about coal. I fucking don't know.
I liked it.
But I think that probably factors in as well when you've got guys who are like, right, I'm fighting for my life basically, and it showed on the night, and even though it wasn't a sellout, I think the number I heard was 1,500 tickets were sold in comparison to 4,000. Now, even though it was 1,500 tickets were sold, that doesn't necessarily mean they were all there. It can also mean they just bought tickets. But yous were there as fight fans watching it, and yous were saying that the place kind of emptied after the last two Scottish guys.
That was that.
I was on Beaver, obviously.
I left. I was away, so I don't know when it got to title fights, and I couldn't even tell you who fucking won the prize fighter.
I did watch the Hardwick fight. He's very good. He is very, very good. He's got all the skills to be in the UFC.
People like him as well. He's got a good social media following and stuff like that.
So they run the little VTs of like people's backgrounds as they're running the show, like the UFC would do, like, you know, behind the scenes, and it's just him and his brother, and the two of them are just.
His brother was sitting just by us.
Like,
one thing I noticed, his brother, he was brilliant with the fans. Everybody that came over to me was a good laugh at him and all that. I was impressed with how he was dealing with that.
It was like their story is brilliant, and I'm sure you'll be able to catch the VT. I'm sure Cage Warriors will put it out as like a longer segment, but brilliant. The two of them, the way they train, the way they, like, I know they're not twins, but the two of them are so close, close in age, doing a sport together. And and
they've got the social media thing cracked as well. So I don't know if you remember the one that went viral with you sitting with his brother when you take your autistic. It was him who put that out. So he made that of himself and put it out. And you're like, It's fucking quite smart.
Right.
Like he's, just like mad shit.
Because I think I just do this. Like,
You're
and
just
he's
like,
like
like he's having some kind of episode. Excellent.
I'm buying into their story.
I'm
want
in.
the first two brothers to become champions in Cage Warriors.
Are they both? They both
Both champions.
Aye.
So I'm loving it, man.
Aye,
So
that's quite
fucking let's
cool.
go. Hardwick. Let's fucking go, boys.
I'd have
team
liked,
news.
I'd have liked to have stayed bad work. I had to go to work, sadly.
Got to make that poppy, bro.
I know.
After that we had UFC. Didn't we? We had the UFC. We had Sean Brady versus Gilbert. Big Gilbo. Derek can do that to Gilbert Burns. And I don't care where people are going to be saying like, oh, Gilbert's getting a bit older. Hey.
Gilbert
is get the dog in him, man. And what a fight that was. I think Sean Brady's something special. I think he's only lost to the champion, isn't he? Bilal Muhammad.
Bilal knocked him out, and I don't know why everybody's giving him shit for Bilal knocking him out.
I know. Aye. But
MMA fans are weird sometimes. Hey,
I thought it was a really, really good fight. After I was going through this card and being like, I don't really know anything.
How many times has this happened?
It's MMA for you. Sometimes you watch it and you're like, what a fight. But it was a very, very good card. And if you've not watched any of the fights, then go back and watch them. Some of them are absolutely barn burners. I think there was one. Who was the guy? Let me see his name.
I'm sure I had backed Andrade as well to win. I was like, no, she's going to be fine.
He took the fight in like a couple of days' notice.
Oh, really?
Let me see his name. He won anyway. I think he stopped him.
What was the... Oh, no, on you go. What was the doctor?
Durden. Cody Durden. He took that fight in like a couple of days' notice and
hit somebody with the Anaconda.
Was out boozing. Like it was like a Monday. I'd seen like a clip of him on the...
He looks like a Cody Durden.
He was on with... He done like an interview with Michael Bisping. He was telling Michael Bisping like how he had taken it in like short notice, and he's like, I think his wife was in the corner as well.
Oh, really?
Him and his wife just jumped in a plane and like I think,
let's go and get this money.
Like for what he said was he seen the fight was that Matthews guy's opponent had pulled. He went onto Twitter and then started tweeting. He says, doesn't matter, something along the lines of like, doesn't matter if it's teammates or whatever it is, I'm going to fight. And the next thing his manager phones him up and says, what have you been up to? And he's like, how? And he's like, because I've just been offered a fight for this weekend. And then the guy was like, can we push it back? And they said, no, they want it for this weekend in the Apex. And I went, right, that's fine, I'll make the weight.
I'll be there.
Makes the weight. Him and his wife fly over and she's in the corner. Like, what a cool experience to experience with your wife. Like, darling, right, you're in the corner.
Just bring me in the water.
Usually Mike Perry gets misses in the corner.
I know, but that's but he's like, that's proper living the American dream. He's like, let's go America. So well done. That was a cool fight as well. Guys, knee injury, shoulder injury, ankle injury, wrist injury, whatever your injury is, it's a thing of the past. Because you know why? Our boys at Anaconda have got your back. And it doesn't matter what the injury is, Anaconda's got you. And what they do is they use a few different things to try and help the joint, be it the supported straps that offer a lot more stability, be it the gel cushioning that's going to offer a little bit of protection to that damaged limb. And if you are suffering from any of these sort of injuries that I've just listed, then why not go and check the website. Ross, where can we find this website?
It's anacondafightwear.co, and right now it's any two braces for $59. Remember at checkout to put in code LEATHERED10 for 10% off, and you can also get the link in our bio.
There you go. It makes sense to keep it Anaconda. It makes sense to also look good. Why not pick yourself up a couple of rash guards? Hey, Anaconda's got you covered. Go and check them out.
So what's next for Brady? What's the talk?
I'm
sure he was...
Go and pull up the rankings.
Somebody called him out.
Brady called out...
Oh, sorry.
Ian Gary.
That's right. He did.
And
he called out Ian Gary.
Manager, I think his name's Lloyd, so he said Lloyd.
Aye. Same misses as well. Oh, that's a cheap shot. That's an easy shot. That's like
Winner
shooting
gets to
fish in a
keep the
barrel.
bitch.
That was a tap-in. It was a tap-in.
Aye, it was. What about, tell me you've seen the video of his partner, his wife, filming him where he's bringing back flowers and she just made a fucking ass of that poor guy again. Like, stop doing that.
I know.
And it doesn't help. It definitely doesn't help the narrative on...
He's got to be in on it, mate. You'd just jump off the bridge, if you had a missus doing that sort of shit to you.
Maybe she's got that good.
How good? How good?
Like, it's maybe just like mind-blowingly good.
It would need to be.
Well, if she's ripping the dick at you like that.
Maybe. Maybe it's just like, it's got to grip it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? That Gripmaster 3000. Know what I'm saying, Big Craig?
Aye.
One of the
That's my
ones that-
sister, fuck you.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
Grandmaster, I'll come here. I'll fucking come out there, you.
Craig's laughing. Can you go over it, Craig? No, me.
Do you want to make a comment on that?
For people who don't know, Craig, who works for the podcast, is you've been partners with my sister for a number of years now.
Paul's brother-in-law, basically. And not a mad shagger at all.
No.
Good guy.
Good guy. Good
guy, Craig.
Good guy. But it was a very good show, and then obviously we had the upset with fucking Ian Gary and his wife. But I'd like to see that fight. I would like to see Gary versus Brady.
I think you picking straight away.
I like Ian Gary. I can't get past him, right, regardless of all the shit that goes on with his personal life. Him as a fighter is incredible. But in Sean Brady, I think he's got something as well. He's fucking...
I'm going to pick Sean Brady, and the only reason is recency. Oh, fucking hell, I've just about knocked my mic over. I felt like Gary should have buried MVP. And just didn't he? And that for me was a bit like, oh, what's...
I know, but
Gary's,
I think Gary's smart, and he, like, I think his game plan and his actual IQ, ring IQ is incredible. Like, when I look at how he was it Jeff Neal, wasn't it, he fought? And he just picked and poked and didn't get into this fire and battle with him, and he won the fight convincingly. And I think
he obviously did that with MVP as well. Aye.
And like, and if you're doing that to MVP, like, I know people are like, but you see, obviously MVP's a little bit older. I don't buy this nonsense of age. When you look at Pereira, who's like what, 30 odd, 30,
Oh, he's older than us.
36. When you look at it, I thought he was older. But
So did I. I
Anyway.
thought he was near 40, but oh well.
if you look at, I wanted to say 39 or something like that.
So
but
did
I could be lying.
We'll just say
37.
37.
Mate, look at the Nickiam. No chances he's 37. 47, mate.
That's what you
You'd
call a
look
Brazilian.
47 if you were fucking brought up in the favelas.
Aye, that's a Brazilian paper on, isn't it?
I do look 47, mate.
So I don't like, for a guy like MVP that's done striking his whole life, and then the young guy like Gary coming in and just picking him apart. Or it was a good fight, but Gary still won. So that's why I like Gary. He's very, very smart.
He is, aye.
So I'm going to go Ian Gary on that one. Can you pull up that welterweight rankings?
There's a lot of up and coming contenders at welterweight. So there's
There is.
Brady, Gary, and then the other two big ones are Jack Della Maddalena and Shavkat.
Would you? I think Shavkat's been trying to get for the fight with your man, the champ. What's his name? Bilal. He's been trying to get that, and I don't think. For what they're saying is, Shavkat's not fought anyone. When you look at the run for Bilal to get to the championship, he's fought the who's who. So I don't think he's going to get it.
Do you
I can't
think
believe you
that?
didn't mention Buckley there.
What about him?
Blackie.
He's got to take Keats off.
Who do you think he beats? Who do you think he beats in front of him?
Every day.
Nah.
Are you like, what's going on here?
I just like him. I think he's mad.
He's definitely mad. Mind he
don't-
came out with
I
that
don't-
Detroit self-defense guy.
He's mental. That's what I like about him.
He's
mad.
still trying to pick fights with DC as well.
Don't do that, mate. I think DC would still fucking Big Brother cunts. Like,
Did you see DC get caught eating on the broadcast? He was eating. He was fucking chowing down, and then they cut to him. And he's like, it's fucking brilliant. Like, but
of course he is, but
Like,
the size of the guy.
he came out and he said, I think he said something along the lines of like, at the time, I wasn't expecting him to come back to me. He said we all eat there in the Apex because they've got all the food in the back.
It's a lovely buffet.
So they go in there and they just fill their boots, and DC's like fucking stuffing his face.
Oh, DC, what a guy though.
I think if you go there, the top one was a video.
We're out there for 7 hours. Who doesn't eat anything for 7 hours? To fight through the cage, like while I'm stuffing the chips in my hand. But look, I've got my other finger on the cough button so that nobody can hear me chewing the potato chips.
Oh, beautiful right hand. Perhaps
Let's see this.
with some energy expenditure issues with all that groundwork. Ladies and gentlemen.
It was fucking cool. I think it was popcorn, they said.
Is sitting over there putting his mute button on so that he can shove popcorn in his mouth.
Listen.
That's a rare moment where you get to see who the real Kobe Covington is.
Look at him having a big box of popcorn.
That's tremendous.
Brilliant.
Never changed.
So there's obviously a bit of movement going to be happening in the welterweight division. Hey, let's see what the next few months.
I think Colby's still in there though.
I don't think so. He's not fought anyone. Who's he fought?
Leon.
Who's he fought and actually beat in the last few years? Go and click on his name and let's see his actual.
I think it's 3 on the bounce he's lost now.
And I'm no slagging him for losing 3 on the bounce.
No, but I mean,
hasn't he fought anybody because he's been looking for these title fights? Masvidal, look, there was his last win. Masvidal. Like, how long ago was that? Masvidal's retired about 6 years, so what we got here, 2022, is that right? Aye. So, apart from him fighting Leon Edwards, the only other time he's fought
March
was
22 as well.
Was what, nearly 5 years ago. When you think about it, like, it's 4 years, over 4 years he's not fought. So why is he even in the mention of? And then let's look who he's beat. He beat a coming to the end of his career, Woodley.
Aye, fucking battered him in that fight actually, didn't he?
Damian Maia, same again. Like, you look at all the dates, he's spent far too long in the sidelines, and then if you go back to the rankings, you can still see that he's in the top, what, 5, 6? Top 5? Like, man,
that's fair actually.
I ain't hating on him.
I give you that one.
But he's no fought Andy, so what do you do with him? Do you feed him to somebody like Ian Gary? Do you feed him to Shavkat?
Shavkat maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
it talks the Poirier fight, but I don't know if that's true or no. I feel like that's made up. Like, it's because Poirier was actually saying he would attack Colby anywhere he seen him.
Poirier said in an interview he would never fight Colby in the UFC because he doesn't want Colby
to make any money
off of Dustin.
Aye.
Good.
I've seen that before. They say if he sees him in the car park or that, he's going to do him, but it'll never be in a cage. So I don't know. Shavkat, though, I think is the next welterweight champion.
You think so?
Yes.
No, I think so.
He's my...
No. I say Brady fucking absolutely arse rapes him.
Oh.
Do you give any of those guys Usman before the title shot?
Is that what we do now?
I think...
like, you beat Usman, you can have a title.
Like, I think that's a good progression. I think you're looking at these guys like Brady, like Ian Gary, feed him Usman, and then if you beat Usman, you get a title shot. I think that's absolutely fair.
Do you think Usman is a good match for Ian Gary?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Like
I like Ian Gary. I think he's going to be the champ. But you've still got Leon Edwards there cutting about. You can't forget about Edwards. Do you?
I know you can't forget.
Do you do that one? Leon
know.
versus Ian Gary, or do you give him Shavkat, or do you give him Brady? I think the two guys are they're going to get them into that top echelon and just start fucking waiting people out.
The Bilal Leon fight was weird. Like, it was like Leon just...
I think Leon said he had back issues, didn't he?
Undoubtedly had something wrong with him.
But then I think people just like to have an excuse up their sleeve, like, you beat me, rather than just come out and saying, listen, like, Brendan Allen absolutely fucked me. Nothing up with me saying, like, I've been beat with a better man. And the same for Baralio. Like, I'm not going to be like, but I was wiping my ass and I went back to front rather than front to back, and it just threw me off my game. Like, people just like an excuse. And
He's
I'm no down
calling
that.
for a fight with Izzy.
Who is?
Aurelio.
Good. I think he should.
So he should.
He's
fifth now.
he's done some damage in that division. But we're still waiting on Whitaker versus 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗥'𝗗. And that's just around the corner as well. There's a lot going to happen. By the end of the year, there's a fair bit of movement going to happen within these divisions.
Aye, for sure. So what have we got coming up there?
We've got the big card coming up. We've got the big one. The
Noche.
Noche.
Is the world getting excited for Noche now? I'm excited after
£20 million excited. That's what they're saying in it. It's £20 million it's costing them. They brought in like an Emmy director. That sounds wrong. They brought in the director of the guy that does the Emmys. I'm sure. I heard Dana White talking about it. So the guy that orchestrates the Emmys, he is now part of the UFC Noche experience.
I'm sure like shareholders come here and say to Dana, like, where the fuck's all this money gone? Like, what's happening here? Why are we spending so much on this?
I don't know if you ask them.
And ticket prices are going down.
Yeah, but they've obviously got the boxing that weekend. It's the same weekend, isn't it?
Is this a one-off at the Sphere, do you think?
Nah, I can't see it being a one-off. I think once they've got the infrastructure sorted, I think they're just going to be blamming them out there and just going to be like, let's do it. Yeah. I genuinely think it's going to be an amazing show. I don't think the card's great. I'm no shitting on the card. I know I shot in 300 for at least 2 months, but I'm not shitting in this card. But I just don't think it's the fucking the best they could do.
Do you think now? So like the Sphere in Vegas, right? Vegas is a mega world tourist destination for it. Like, we love going there. Mm-hmm. Are we getting to a stage now where we go, the UFC is in Vegas on this weekend, we are going to fucking fly for Scotland to go to the Sphere to see this. This is how big an event this is. This isn't MMA at the T-Mobile. Yes. This is a fucking thing we're going to do.
I would love that to be a thing where it'd be like, oh, mum, we'll go and see UFC in the Sphere. Mm-hmm. I think they've put too much money and too much things in place right now for it just to be a one-off. And I think it's nice to say this is going to be a one-off, so people then, like, supply and demand, people will be like, right, I'm going to go because this is only going to be one and done.
I can say I was at the Sphere.
What were you going to say, Craig?
So Dana White has came out and said that obviously they're not revealing what they're doing with the Sphere, but he's talked about, like, in between the fights there's going to be like sort of movies,
yes,
and
like going through the ages of
Mexican fighting. And he said that there's loads of hidden wee Easter eggs.
I've seen this,
and he's offered 25 grand to whoever finds all the Easter eggs first.
Yep. He was looking at. I seen him saying that he was looking at the legalities for saying this, but there's so many little hidden Easter eggs in there that, as you said, Craig is going to give out 25 G's to empty it for everybody, for the people that find them, or the first person that finds it.
How do you verify that? Just like, put your hand up, Dana, I've got them, mate.
That's the legality. You're in the crowd, Dana.
It's me, bro. I've DM'd you.
you know, when you go up to your teacher with the answers. No, number 3 is rang. Right, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Right, back. So as I was travelling here, I was stressed. I had to get from the gym to the podcast. We had a guest on, and just at that right moment, all it takes is you're in a car accident, and I was subjected to that today. I was stressed. I was genuinely stressed. But I knew there was a phone number and I could call them and they would take all the stress and all the nonsense that is dealing with insurance companies. They guys are G4 Claims. And if you want to get in contact with them, Ross will give you the number.
It's 01698 767 172. You can also get them at notatfaultclaim.com, and they're available on WhatsApp.
So rather than dealing with the stress, rather than worrying about who I need to phone or what's my next protocol, let G4 Claims do that. And they will also give you a courtesy car, your whole claim. Remember, this is for a non-fault accident. Hit up G4 Claims. It makes sense. It made sense for me today. But as a card, when you think about this, if you scroll right up, can you scroll up to show me the card? Like, the actual fights themselves, like, they're good. They're good.
I like Lopez, I like that Diego Lopez.
Yes, I agree with you, but it's an Apex card with 3 good fights on it.
He's obviously restricted though, isn't he? Because he's trying to push the Mexican fighters. So
yep, he has been.
Restricted to what you can put on the card.
But then you look at the main event. There's not one of them are Mexican.
True.
Boy's Georgian.
Why is Yair not on the card? He's
Good
probably
question.
one of their biggest Mexican fighters as well.
That's true. Why would you not put him on? And he brings a lot of fans.
He's one of the Easter eggs.
Sean O'Malley is a big draw though.
He is. Is he
believe.
the closest to the superstar from McGregor?
Yes.
Aye.
I think he's the. If we're doing it on who's most active, I think he is the biggest one now.
Let's do a Sean O'Malley giveaway. I've got a Sean O'Malley t-shirt.
Sugar Show. I bought a mad hat.
I got to.
Did you get the hat?
No, I've got
You
two
get the
Sugar
bucket
Show
hat.
t-shirts and I've not getting mine.
I've got the bucket hat. My
No,
daughter runs
mine's
a
just still in the wrapping and all that kind of stuff. So let's do it if you get the top 3 fights. The Sean O'Malley versus Merab, the Grasso versus Shevchenko, and Ortega versus Lopez. If you get the theory right, we'll pick somebody in the comments and we'll fire you over a Sean O'Malley t-shirt. Obviously, if Sean O'Malley doesn't win, you'll not be wanting the t-shirt. I don't have a fucking Merab t-shirt. But how does Merab beat Sean O'Malley, Ross?
I don't.
Read the leathered blog to find out.
So
Actually, that's where I got all my information from.
I don't be. Paul's just reading off the blog here, by the way.
No.
Don't be impressed with his knowledge of it, and it's actually all Craig.
I want Sean O'Malley to win. I'm not a Merab.
Tell me why.
Because I think Sean O'Malley is more charismatic than Merab, and I would rather see more Sean O'Malley than Merab.
Yep, you're absolutely bang on the money, aye. But I think when you've got a guy who's got a gas tank like Merab,
I think unfortunately Merab's going to win.
I don't think so. When you think about,
But I'd like to see Sean win.
I think Sean O'Malley's got more tools to beat him. You've got Sean O'Malley's footwork's very good, so he's going to use that to keep away from Merab. Merab's going to be looking for the takedowns. And I think all you need is Sean O'Malley to touch you.
Aye,
like you think
that's
about,
very true.
think about a sharpshooter. He's got the skill just to pinpoint and bump. And we've seen him doing it to Aljamain Sterling.
That's my hope.
We've seen him doing it to Eddie Wayland, where he bump and flatlines him.
Aye.
That's how I see Sean O'Malley beating Merab. But he's going to have to keep taking down, and I think Sean O'Malley will be able to defend them. If I'm Sean O'Malley's coach, do you know what I've been drilling for the last few months? Is just defending these takedowns.
Step left and cross.
Defend, footwork, defend, footwork. And I think that's how it's going to be.
It's hard work though.
I think
25 minutes of that.
it's this classic striker versus grappler.
sure.
And there was a point where the grappler seemed to be always winning.
Aye.
And then now, yeah, Craig's like, I fucking
Word
know
for
that for word. But I know what I think's happening is
Striking's evolving as well though.
I know, but striking they've worked out how to stop this. It's now, remember when it used to be like, oh, he's a grappler. He's just going to take you down. But I think people's takedown defenses get so much better.
People are better at getting up to.
Aye. So I'm going to go Sean O'Malley. Who are you going?
I'm going to go Sean O'Malley as well. Fuck it.
Guys, who are you going?
I'm going Sugar Sean.
Craig's going Chito Vera.
I wish I could go Chito Vera. I'm going to say Sean too.
Hey, unanimous.
Aye. And then we've got the female featherweight, flyweight title bout with Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso. That's a good fight. That's a fan favourite fight right there. Does Grasso beat her again?
This is a trilogy.
I hope so, because I'm bored of Valentina Shevchenko.
You hating on
And
Shevchenko?
I felt she was very rude on Tough.
You're not a nice person.
So she wouldn't let them go for a drink of water during the training sessions. So that's
that all about?
just a moron,
fucking
mate.
shows toughness.
That's stupid. That's that old like Russian Federation
But then
Olympic team shit.
What you've got to remember is
Chill women.
no, she's trying to she's on a TV show, right?
Aye.
And she's trying to do something different. So that's what it's like, no water. Like, so the cameras catch that and then they make a deal of it and then it's actually something that happens in the episode.
Maybe.
All for TV. All for TV.
I hope so, mate, because not drinking water during the session is hard.
Have you seen the clip? The guy at the press conference try to get Valentina's number.
Does he get it?
Did I get it?
He does not get it.
Is she single?
He says to her, he's like, I've got 2 questions for you. 1, are you single? 2, can I get your number? She goes, yes, I'm single, but you can't get my number.
Why? It's very rude. I'll tell you that.
I think she would beat me up.
I think I might let her. Choke me, mummy.
Oh, I took a sideways turn. Who would you let beat you up more, Shevchenko or Grasso?
Grasso.
Aye, I'd let Grasso kick my head in.
Fuck.
Kick my head in.
I'd let her
crush my cubes.
Aye. Triangle me to just actual death, eh? Wear my tongue out.
It's
sorry, Alexa.
I've always thought Shevchenko was something special, and she is. And I thought she would. The very first fight, I thought she would have absolutely dusted Grasso, and I think she did, didn't she? She was winning in the rounds until she wasn't winning, which I love, and that's why I'm like. And then Grasso comes out and then beats her again, and I'm like, so I'm sticking with Grasso, and I think it was so close, wasn't it? I think if one judge had scored it like 29-28 rather than the 27, so Shevchenko would have won.
The draw, it came down to the last round. Two of them scored at 10-9 for Valentina. Grasso. And the other one scored at 10-8 for Grasso. If that judge had scored at 10-9 like the others, Valentina would have won.
Aye, so it's close.
That's got to leave a fucking bad taste in your mouth though, eh? Just be like, oh.
And obviously she's got the Mexican belt. Have you seen this belt? Now here's a question. If the actual main event, they win, did he get a Mexican belt?
They've got cool Mexican gloves.
Are they red?
No, they're gold. And so UFC's the...
Oh, I remember you'd seen them. Aye.
Greg saw them too when he was asking for photos with Khalil, mate.
Khalil asked me.
Greg, brother, can I have a picture of me? And then we're looking at Greg Oh, sorry, man, I've been picked. Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting? Who are you picking?
I fight them both naked, but I'm going to go Alexa.
I'm
going to go Alexa to retain. I think Shevchenko.
I'm talking about Lopez not taking it.
By the way, Diego's a handsome laddie. I fucking would have trouble saying no to him. Oh, mate, you know that gay guy I sent you in the group chat who keeps messaging me. He's just writing like, "Are you gay yet?"
You lead them on.
I'll lead them on. I'll send this cunt nudes and everything.
I've had a few messages of guys asking me like, "Do you do nudes? Like, is this a thing?"
Why not?
The guys do nudes?
I'll do them now. This guy's got full on pictures on his actual Instagram grid. Him in just like Y fronts. Bit of dick on him, like.
Did I ever tell you the story? I went and bought a pair of like Calvin Klein boxers. I've got a few
boxers are like the.
It turned out it was briefs and ended up with like proper old man pants.
Nice.
And my partner loves them. She's like, you can wear them. Yeah. And if I put them on, if I'm maybe going out like a night out, she's like, take them off.
You're like hoochie daddy pants.
Like, take them off. They're only for me. I'm like, what do you think I'm doing tonight? So I
tremendous.
She digs the Ys. But then on holiday, I ran out of boxers, and I bought a pair of. I went to one of these supermarkets, like not.
You just wash them, mate.
Well, I was on holiday, and then I needed a few boxers to tide me over until I got to Vegas, and I ended up just buying like boxers, and they only had them like an extra large, and I was like, I'm out of shape, I'll buy them. She wanted to see the size of these fucking things, man. They're massive,
board
man.
shorts.
My dick, like they've actually got like, the wee pocket, like where you can pull the cock out. If I wear them, my dick just happens to like, what's happening? Fresh air. It just fucking finds a way.
I used to like the looser boxer, eh? I used to be a fan of the loose boxer, but now I just
just hold all this shit together for me. Because when you were younger, it was all kind of there. Now it's starting to
it's getting that way.
It's starting to hang a little low.
There's a guy on Instagram like you wearing, Ross.
Mate, I'll message him right now. Where's my phone?
Tell me you can get some Paul Craig. I'll wear Paul Craig's boxers. His Y fronts.
He's a sort of mixed race dude as well, which is.
He wants you wearing nothing but an Anaconda knee brace.
Possible.
on your cock.
Yeah.
Put the straps on.
An exotic looking man. He's from Edinburgh too.
Is he?
Hey.
You know a lot about this guy.
You're getting out the gay vibes.
I'm friendly, mate. I'm a friendly guy.
There's friendly and there's been full blown gay.
So Ortega Lopez.
Aye, so I think I'm going to go Grasso. Who you going, guys?
I'm going to go Grasso.
Grasso.
Right, I'm going to go Shevchenko then, because we can't all be fucking backing the same people here.
Somebody will put on the bet and we'll see how much money win. So the featherweight bout is Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Now, this fight was meant to take place. Do you remember?
Yep.
It was meant to take place on International Fight Week. Brian Ortega missed weight, I'm sure. And then we were in the crowd and they announced that he's fighting Ige. And he took it on but Ige was already training. I think he was in a fight camp. He was fighting someone else. But Lopez, for this fight, they literally jumped off the couch because this member was falling apart. You're meant to have McGregor was meant to fight in that card. And then they ended up with a new main event, which was Hill versus Pereira. Prohaska, sorry. And then they brought in this fight because they wanted to make it a fan favourite fight. And we didn't get it. And now we're a few months down the line and now we've got it. We've got Brian Ortega. What's how many triangles Brian Ortega got? The same as Paul Craig?
No, you've got more.
Have I? I thought you'd put on your blog.
They said it's as good as, he's nearly as good as Paul's.
Is it?
I think he said nearly.
Nearly. All right. I read he's as good as Paul Craig. And then you've got Lopez, who's on a bit of a tear now, isn't he? For kicking peas.
He is a fan favourite, So he came through Contender.
I think they were saying that 50% of the people that are fighting in this are from the Dana White Contender Series.
O'Malley is, for sure.
When you think about how many fighters they get regularly coming through this, how many seasons they're now done, this is that's the route to get in the UFC now.
Aye.
It used to be you would get picked up through your record alone, but even now you can have a sketchy record, but if you can go in there and put on a performance what Dana White likes, then you're going to get a contract.
Yep. You get your chance to go in front of them and do your thing, and possibly get that viral moment. That's what you're looking for, You're looking for that. When Sean O'Malley done it, knocked the guy out, didn't he? And then he was shouting over to Dana.
Well, they know at this point where Snoop Dogg was doing the commentary.
That's right, Snoopcast, wasn't it? It was with Uriah Faber.
I know.
So
was MD listening to that? Was MD how good Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg's he's tragic now. He used to be a G and now he's jumping about.
Took shots at Eminem. Can't he do that?
Did he?
Can't do that. Don't know. Greg will know. He's in on the...
I don't know about that. I just know Snoop Dogg posts pure old da memes on Instagram all day.
We know he's getting older. I'm no shitting.
Friday's brain with the drugs, you think?
Possibly.
That'll happen.
You liked a joint?
Aye.
Just the one?
One or two?
It's just one or two.
Aye.
So how do you think this fight goes?
I'm going to take Lopez. I don't think Brian Ortega will be able to get him out of there.
If you're Brian Ortega, how does Brian Ortega beat him?
Subs him.
Do you know what? Lopez has got good jits.
He does. But he has been put in awfully bad positions before, and I think Ortega will think that his jiu-jitsu is good enough to submit Lopez.
More superior.
But that's my prediction. Sorry, my fucking watch saying my son's home from school there. I think Lopez will win a decision. If Brian Ortega was to win it, he'd win it via a submission.
Very close with the subs. Yeah. What about who's the favourite in that? Is Ortega the favourite?
I never know about American odds, so the
plus 145 is the
plus is a dog in it.
Aye.
So Lopez is favourite.
Yep.
Mate, MD with hair like that's fucking my favourite. And that's a man that doesn't give a fuck.
The most European looking Brazilian I've ever seen.
You know, I thought he was Mexican. I thought Ortega was Mexican as well.
Well, it sounds
Did
Mexican.
you how many did you get right on the Mexican questions the UFC put out?
Oh, I never saw them.
Did you get any?
I didn't see them either.
Hey, who was UFC's first Mexican champion?
Cain Velasquez.
I thought Cain Velasquez.
No, Cain Velasquez American.
America, fuck yeah.
Just because he's got a big brown pride tattoo.
Brandon Moreno, he was the first. What three champions were champions together?
What do you mean?
Or Mexican champions, aye. This is for fucking Noche.
Moreno, Grasso and Yair was interim.
Yes, he was indeed. Yes.
That was good.
And then who was the headliner of the first Mexican card?
Was it Cain and Verdum?
It was meant to be Cain, but Cain got injured and it was Verdum versus some other Cain.
No.
Somebody else. It was maybe I'm not going to say Mark Hunt, fucking who was your man at the bombs with like the rat tail? What's his name? Roy Nelson. Definitely wasn't him either. I don't know.
We saw Verdum at the airport, eh?
Aye, that's right.
He's cutting about.
Did you get a picture with him?
No.
I told him to go up.
Did you ever let the fans see the picture of
No, I've never seen that.
Ankalaev?
I've never seen that.
I got a message for Greg saying I got a picture of Ankalaev. He sent me the picture. I was like, that's not Ankalaev.
Aye, I definitely backed you up, mate. I was like, it's him.
It was like if you order him off Wish, aye.
Aye, it was a council version of him.
He was only 5'2" as well.
Aye.
He must have been loving life thinking.
Well,
his mate was taking pictures.
It must happen all the time because his mate was like kind of laughing, like doing the thing as if like it's happened again. Somebody thinks you're
famous because you're Russian and you've got half a beard, no moustache, big collies.
Straight Frenching.
He looked like the guy. He looked like they look.
Have you seen the people that try and give themselves cauliflower ears?
Oh,
I like banging weights on them and shit like that.
Oh, why?
That's just fucked up. And in fact, did John Jones not do it to Steve-O from Jackass?
That's right.
Like jammed him in weights and fucking, oh man, that's horrible. Why would you want that shit?
It's sore just bumping your ear. I didn't even want to bang my ear.
Do you know anybody else who's on this Noche card?
Nah.
The wee pan face guy.
Wee pan face.
Don't call him that.
Wee Raul Rosa.
Looks like he's been hit with a pan.
He's got bad collie.
What's how do you pronounce the Chinese guy's name?
What's his other name? Because he's like fucking McLovin.
Aqualing.
Like, no first name, no.
Aqualing. Can't afford this. Another name.
Aye.
I don't know anything about the guy's
Comes
fight.
from China.
But why would you not have Rosa higher up?
I don't know, actually.
It seems a bit strange to put him in like the early prelims to open up the card. He's obviously a name within the UFC,
For
also
sure.
a Dana White Contender Series guy.
Yep.
So why would you not try and push him? Why would you not want him to be higher up the card? And then you look at these cards, normally you'll look at like the...
A lot of ladies on this as well. Big Norma. Happening. Taking after the sphere of that.
Aye, so there's a lot of Mexicans on it, but there's not a lot of Mexicans we know.
Aye. Would you say boxing is bigger in Mexico, Jink?
Aye.
Is it? Boxing's there.
They like a wee scrap.
This date, like Mexican independence, usually Canelo's date in the UFC.
He has boxing on it though, eh?
Aye.
Canelo's.
Aye.
Very European looking guy as well. Mad ginger hair.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the up and coming card. And who we picking? You're picking Lopez. I'm picking
I'm
Lopez.
going Lopez.
Who's going Lopez? Going any different?
I'm going Lopez.
I like Ortega.
Why?
Because who's he lost to at featherweight?
He doesn't
Holloway, Volkanovski.
Aye,
And
Holloway.
the injury to Yair, which you can't really count. He's only lost to the best of the best.
Did he not beat? He beat Yari.
He beat Yair in the rematch.
Aye, in the rematch.
So
Fucked him up.
I think this is a big step up for Lopez.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm picking Ortega.
Do you think this is a situation where, like, if Lopez can get past Ortega, then you start talking title fight type stuff? Do you think that's what we're looking at here?
Potentially.
I would say. I think that's what the UFC are doing here. They're saying,
I don't think he would take this fight, but if he gets past Ortega, could you do Lopez Volkanovski? The winner of that gets the next title shot.
you're going to do that to Volk?
You've still got the champ, haven't you? You've still got him cutting about. He's fighting Max Holloway. Tapori, isn't it? Is that how you say it? Ilya Tapori. So there is obviously a bit of shit going down there. Aye.
I'm just checking out the rankings here because I'm fucking mega blind.
No,
Diego Lopez is 13.
I think, once you're in that, once you're getting a fight with Brian Ortega,
Aye.
you're going to be in like the top 5 now. Aye, definitely. But I don't see him beating Max Holloway. This is Ortega. I don't see. Ortega. Lopez. I don't see him beating Max Holloway. I don't see him beating Volk, and I don't see him beating Ilya. That's my opinion. Do I think Ortega could beat any of them? No. I think that top 3 is just going to battle each other for the next couple
They're
of
too good.
the next year at least.
Aye. Arnold Allen there as well, obviously.
Oh, so he is.
Josh
Number
Emmett, eh?
Josh Emmett got fucked up off Yari, remember that? And I think he triangled him, didn't he?
I like Josh Emmett.
Aye, tough as he come, man. That's because you base your looks on him. Man.
Aye, big ugly guy like myself. Both look like a couple of orcs.
So I think that's us done. We just wanted to give you just our opinions on the cards. We're going to jump over to Patreon to give our Patreon. Craig's got something lined up, haven't you? But guys, as always, we really appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Hope you enjoy the Stevie Ray interview. And as always, keep it high.
Thank you.